Hey, you! Yeah, you. Remember when you would sit down and watch anime, and 80% of the time would have those weird black lines on the side of the screen? Yeah. Huh? Oh, what's that? Anime's never had those black lines on the side of the screen? Oh, yeah, it never has for me either. Hi there, my name's Youngnugg, and I do anime videos sometimes. And other times I do, other stuff. Anyway, I thought I'd try something new today. Hey, remember when you first get into the anime and then you would try to explain it to someone, but you realized that they just weren't getting it? And then later down the road you would see them try to explain it to someone else, and it would frustrate and anger you to no degree, and then you realize now that it was just a big giant cringe fest? Well, Animegataris knows that, and it has no problem throwing that word around in your every day-to-day conversation.
I love anime!
Yeah, and manga!
When it clearly knows that it's a word that shouldn't be there in the first place. Which brings us to the question of the day. Have you seen Animegataris? Probably not. Which I find to be a real shame, but at the same time I can understand why. The character designs can be kinda generic at times, and nothing really happens in the first couple episodes other than that cringe fest I was talking about earlier. Not to mention that the studio behind it isn't really known for anything other than Mars of Destruction. And if you've seen Mars of Destruction, you know that is not a compliment. But I can't help but be a little sad because I feel like people missed out on a great experience while they were too busy watching the popular shows of the season. Every time I tell people about the show, I get met with a, huh? What's that? I was even talking to my friend about it a second time when he forgot I told him about it the first time. But you know, these things happen, which is why I'm here today to tell you that you should have watched Animegataris. You see, Animegataris lets you know pretty early on that something isn't quite right. But because it's a comedy, it never turns into anything like Doki Doki Literature Club. Oh, I'm sorry. Were you waiting for those wounds to heal? Oh, well here, have a nice picture of some Sayori. Maybe that will cheer you up. Animegataris is one of those shows that takes your expectations and flips them on its head. It just takes a little longer to get around to the actual flipping of them, compared to most shows. And because it's a comedy, it never actually gets anything substantially twisted. Or am I just trying to lower your expectations so that the impact is more impactful? You don't know. You haven't seen Animegataris. But don't worry, I'm just joshing you. Or am I? Have you watched Animegataris? I wish you did. But what do you care? That's just my opinion. I'm just a little nugget.
Garuga Mash!